95% of diets fail, but what if the solution was simpler than you think? In this episode, we reveal how whole foods and recovery, not restriction, hold the key to lasting health and performance. Let's get into it.
Please hit that subscribe button now and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Don't forget to check the description below for links to our trusted sponsors and ways you can support the show. Here's a shocking statistic. 95% of diets fail within the first year, yet Americans spend over $72 billion annually on weight loss programs. Today, we're exploring why the solution might be simpler than we think.
That's such a striking number. And what's really interesting is how much of that money goes toward programs that actually work against our body's natural processes.
Exactly right. The diet industry has created this complex web of rules and restrictions. But the latest research shows that sustainable fitness comes down to two key elements: whole foods and proper recovery.
Could you break down what we mean by whole foods? I think there's still a lot of confusion around that term.
Think of whole foods as nature's original fast food: fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and lean proteins in their most natural state. What's fascinating is that these foods contain complex nutrient profiles that work together in ways we're still discovering.
You know what surprises me about that? How the simplest foods often provide the most benefits.
Let me share something interesting. Studies show that an apple contains over 100 beneficial compounds that work synergistically. No supplement can replicate that complexity.
That's really fascinating about the apple. How does this relate to athletic performance?
Here's where it gets interesting. Research indicates that 75% of our fitness gains actually happen during recovery, not during the workout itself. When we exercise, we create micro tears in our muscles, and proper nutrition from whole foods provides the building blocks for repair.
That really challenges the no pain, no gain mentality we often see in fitness culture.
Absolutely right. Let me share some data. Studies show that athletes who prioritize recovery and whole food nutrition see a 40% improvement in performance compared to those who just focus on training intensity.
Those numbers are pretty compelling. What about people who say they don't have time for whole food preparation?
Here's a practical solution I've developed: the 2-hour Sunday strategy. Studies show that people who spend just 2 hours meal prepping save an average of 8 hours during the week and are 75% more likely to stick to their nutrition goals.
That's really interesting about the time savings. Could you walk us through what that looks like?
Picture this. While quinoa cooks on the stove, providing complete protein and complex carbs, you're roasting vegetables loaded with antioxidants in the oven and preparing lean proteins. In 2 hours, you've created the foundation for 12 to 15 healthy meals.
That makes it sound much more manageable. What about the recovery aspect?
Recent research from the Journal of Sports Medicine shows that proper recovery can reduce injury risk by up to 60% and improve strength gains by 35%. The key is understanding that recovery isn't just about rest, it's active restoration.
Could you explain more about what you mean by active restoration?
Think of it like this. Your body has specific nutrient needs during different recovery windows. Within 30 minutes post-workout, you need a 3-to-1 ratio of carbs to protein. Within 2 hours, your body's ability to absorb nutrients increases by 40%.
That's fascinating about the timing. How do whole foods fit into these windows?
Here's where it gets interesting. Studies show that whole food combinations like sweet potato with chicken provide 23% better nutrient absorption than processed alternatives. Plus, they contain natural compounds that reduce inflammation by up to 25%.
Speaking of inflammation, what role does that play in recovery?
Recent research has shown that chronic inflammation can reduce muscle recovery by up to 45%. But here's what's fascinating. Certain whole foods like berries and leafy greens can decrease inflammatory markers by up to 30% within just 24 hours.
Those numbers really put things in perspective. What about the mental aspects of moving away from diet culture?
The psychological impact is significant. Studies show that chronic dieters experience up to 65% more stress around food choices. But when switching to a whole foods approach, 80% report improved relationship with food within just 6 weeks.
That's really encouraging. Any final thoughts on making this transition sustainable?
Here's what the research shows. People who make gradual changes are 300% more likely to maintain them long term. Start by replacing one processed food with a whole food alternative each week. Within 3 months, 85% of people report feeling significantly better.
That really brings it all together, making sustainable changes through simple, proven strategies.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. The data shows that even a 20% increase in whole food consumption can lead to measurable improvements in both performance and recovery. Thanks for tuning in to the Wellness Lab Digest. If this episode helped you, here are 3 quick ways to support the show. 1. Subscribe to stay updated with fresh, body-loving wellness insights. 2. Share this episode with a friend who needs this today. 3. Comment below and tell us what topics you'd love to hear next. Want to do even more? Check the video description for ways to support the show. Stay curious, stay well, and we'll see you in the next episode.